As you can see, I got one guy with me.
Good morning.
We got Tim in first, Jose, Scotty. Good to see you guys. It is cold, so just right off the bat, so I can get rocking and rolling. The link is in the chat. Anybody's welcome to come up and talk, hang out. Hey, Branton, good to see you, buddy. We are going to talk about fish room goals here and there, but I do have to do some water changes. Like I was telling P-Tag, I realized with this winter storm coming through, it is affecting the entire state of North Carolina. It's already getting very, very cold outside, a lot of wind blowing. And our water company already contacted us saying, if ice builds up, they could shut down, water could freeze, you name it. So I figured it's been a month since I've done a water change, so I better get some fresh water in these tanks. I've already completed 1, 2, 3, about to do the Mabuna tank. So 3 are done, and I'm going to walk around, do water changes while we chat. So please,
Sounds happy.
come on up. Appreciate you coming up too, P-Tech. So
yeah, you're welcome.
Let me get back to work while I chat with you guys. And I'll keep watching in case someone else wants to come in. I feel like Tim might show up. What Jose say? Tim, add me on that list. Assless. Yeah. That's what my wife always says. You don't have an ass. So so you obviously you're not working today, P-Tech.
No, I'm off this weekend. So like I said, I'll be staying inside. I got all my water changes done except for my upstairs tank. I did that all last week. So
very cool. Have you prepared for it?
We got a bunch of groceries all caught up and pretty much prepare for whatever comes at us, I guess. Not much more we can do other than make sure we got food and extra power supply. So
exactly.
That always works. Generator and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've got that's one thing I got to do today. So a lot of people don't realize this, and I was having a conversation with and people have talked about generators in this hobby in the past versus battery backups.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of battery backups. If a company wanted to send me one for free to review it, sure, but I'm not buying one because I figure in an emergency, you need to run your house anyways. You need to get that fridge staying cold. You need to be able to run your heat furnace, you name it. So I just went ahead and invested in a generator, and it's big enough I can run my whole house.
Okay.
In that event, I would turn everything off except for needed the fridge, the furnace, you name it. And everything's going off in this fish room. The only thing that I would run is my sponge filters and my air stones.
And that was kind of the reason why I got one of those. I talked about it briefly on my live stream last night, that I got one of those they're like a smaller Jackery battery backup, but I just use it just to plug in my linear piston pump from Gemco, and that just keeps the air running. I don't need to run all my filters or nothing. It's just something to keep the bubbles going to make sure there's that breakup of the surface. So
keep that oxygen gas exchange happening. Hey,
yeah.
Skelly. Hey, 21 Cichlids. Good to see you. Christian B. We're getting all the peeps in this morning.
Got a good crowd so far.
Yeah. That's what we're just talking about, Christian B. Preparing for this thing, and that's why I kind of turned this into a maintenance stream because it's been about 4 days over a month since I did a water change. So I figured if something does happen, I better do these water changes now.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to suck out uneaten food and poop in all the tanks. I do have to do about 3 or 4 of them. The rest is just going to be water changes.
Yeah, the only thing I probably need to catch up on is probably look into some canister filters at some point this weekend. So I was going to break one of these open back here because I haven't yet. It's been about 5 months. And then I'll probably do the one upstairs too. So we'll see.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing is what I do like about doing water changes, especially on a stream, is you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I've already done my filters and pre-filters, so it's literally just a water change today.
That's nice.
Yeah.
If I'm doing just water changes, I don't have to worry about cleaning the glass or anything like that. Or even if I just do a touch-up here and there, I can probably get things done in about roughly 2 hours. If I don't do any live streams and I just strictly focus on just the water changes, I can get it done in about 2 hours with my fish room down here. And that's really good timing for me and manageable.
for sure. And it's weird. I've never thought about it, but I got this 32-gallon garbage can. When you're sucking uneaten food, poop, dead snail shells out with the python, it always clogs. And you're going over to that thing every 2 minutes to unclog it so it'll keep working. Scotty told me, grab a hose and use this, and it's been a lifesaver, P-Tag, because it never gets clogged. And then I have a pump in here, so I just go to the back door and I pump it out when it gets full, pumps it out real fast, and then I can just keep on going. Because I got a lot of dead snail shells in these tanks. The snail colony in that 20-gallon long Cory Cat tank is astronomical. I'm gonna have to suck it. But it's so hard to do water changes in that tank because I don't want to suck up my shrimp.
Yeah, you just got to be real careful, but with it.
186.
Did you used to remove water by using the python into the sink, or have you always done it with a pump?
Nope. Back in the day, I was just using the python to do everything, and it was just so inefficient, and I hated it. Took forever when it was in the house.
Okay.
Then towards the later end, when my fish room was in the dining room and I had tanks going all around the wall, you can see that on my channel going back, I went ahead and pumped the water out of the window. And that worked.
That.
You remember that?
Yep.
Then when I got out here, as you know, I set up much better systems. So it just like plumbing the whole fish room with a spigot at each tank. Now I'm not taking a python around to fill each tank. It's just turn a valve.
Yeah, that's definitely worth your while then, especially for your fish room.
I love my pumps. This one in here is the one I used forever. It's about an 825 or 50 gallon. And the one I drain the tanks with now is like it's like 11 or 1250.
Okay.
Drain it fast and it's awesome once you get used to that. You can drain while you're
filling up at the same time.
Filling up and preparing another tank.
Yep. If I would like to do it to where I wouldn't have to run like a hose outside because when I very first started, long story short, the fish keeping hobby, I did the same thing and used a python, and then I had like the same issues as you did. So that's when I bought one of those real big brute trash cans, and I go right into there, and then I pump that outside. So I just have to run that hose outside that's going from the pump in the trash can to outside. I think it'd be really cool to have some sort of connection that I could just have a line that goes outside somewhere. Would be kind of neat. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the only other thing I could do to make this fish room any better is to run another system of PVC pipe where a pipe goes into each aquarium with some kind of screening and an outdoor external water pump that I could drain them all simultaneously. Of course, each one would have to be valved because I got different size tanks, and you'd have to really play with that so they drain at the same rate. And but if you do that, I'm like pretty much taking away all the maintenance.
So now that we're talking about this, there's been one thing I've been debating, and anyone in chat could chime in on this as well. But I wanted to see what your thoughts on this. It doesn't have to be solid or concrete, but it's something I've debated about down here. Is I have a sump pump or a sump with a pump that drains it just for like I just another side note, long story short, we got some basement work done because certain parts of the basement were leaking. So a company came in and put this sump in when it pumps it outside. So I'm wondering if that could be utilized for my fish room, and if that would be feasible, or if it would be like okay to do that as far as emptying my fish tank water into that sump, which it's only a room away from my fish room. I would just have to open the door a little bit and run the hose to that and go to each tank, put the pump in from my fish tanks to go into the sump, and then the sump would empty it automatically once it senses it's there to discharge it out into the yard. So yeah, I haven't done it, but I was kind of debating and seeing how that would work, if it would be able to keep up. And most sumps can, because the pump being pretty
what
pretty
size strong. I don't mean to interrupt you. What size is the sump pump?
Couldn't tell you. I'd have to go in the other room and open it up and see what the size is. So I couldn't tell you offhand. I'd have to walk over there and see.
I would look at that. I'd look and see what the GPH is on that pump, and if it's significant, like 2,500, 3,000 gallons or something, I wouldn't see why you couldn't. You look at a lot of these guys, depths, and some of these other guys, I see they run a lot of their drains right into like a drain in their basement or wherever they're at. Now, is that necessarily a sump? I don't know. Yeah. But it's essentially, it's just you're draining and having a pump take it outside, right?
Yep.
So I wouldn't see why you couldn't do it.
Scotty says he doesn't seem to think it'd be a bad way to go. But like you said, only one way to do is just try it and see if it works.
Wonder why Scotty says that. He's been keeping fish a long time. He may even tried that in the past. So
yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's one thing I've debated. I think that would kind of eliminate the brute trash can. I would just have to run one hose whenever I'm pumping water out. And I have one of those. I have a smaller pump I could even use and just run it all the way over there, and it would be real easy and quick.
Right. Yeah, anything you can do, I'm like that. Anything anything you can do to make it easier, quicker, more efficient, I'm all about doing that. So I'm curious the reason why Scotty would say it's not a good idea. I mean, if the pump is,
he said it was. He said it would be a good idea, not.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would just. You just need to make sure that dang pump's going to keep up.
Right. Especially
so if you're what size pump are you draining your tanks with?
It's the one I've been using lately is the there's a couple of different ones. One is Amazon special. It was like $30, and it's about like 700-800 gallons GPM.
7,800.
No, well, that would be insane. I think it's around like 600 or 700 GPM. I believe the CJ Ultra Zero pump is around 900.
900 GPH.
Yeah, so let's give or take 700 to 900 GPH. I think would be going in there. So I would have to look at the pump, like you said.
Yeah, you look at the data tag and see what the GPH is, but I would think not. So this is like 11. The one I'm like I said is like 1,100 to 1,200 GPH, and it still takes a minute to drain these bigger tanks.
Yeah.
Like if you're on here long enough, when I get to this 375, I'll turn the camera, and you can see still how long it takes to drain that tank down.
Yep.
So
yeah, even with this 220, it does take a minute. Even with
you're just gonna have to find that balance.
Yeah. What would be really sweet and super efficient, and this would be like if I really wanted to get into it and do a little bit of project, is to get like what you were saying, like either like some sort of PVC or some type of inlet to, or I guess I could essentially say an outlet from each one of my tanks. Since everything's pretty permanent now, I could just run those lines and pump it to the sump and then pump it outside. That would be crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wishful thinking, though.
Yeah.
I would just have to flip a switch, and that would be it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's the only other thing I thought about doing.
Can you imagine like emptying all your tanks all at the same time and just filling them all back up afterwards?
I think it'd be awesome. Just valving and adjusting and getting used to it. But when you're done, man, God, turn a switch on. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
just
you can
close all your valves as one fills up.
Yep. And then go to your water lines and have them all adjusted till they fill the same rate. Turn that on. It's drain and freaking fill. Then we can get real silly and make it automatic. The other thing I never understood about automatic water change systems, where you literally don't have to do nothing but turn switches, is how do you add the dechlorinator in those tanks?
I don't know. You would have to probably just have an RO system, probably. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you have an RO system, you wouldn't have to add dechlorinator to it, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, then so be it.
Yeah, never know. Hey, Boss Canada. Hey, Peplin. John's in here. I saw you earlier, buddy. See if I miss anybody else. It's good to see you guys. Appreciate you coming in, doing a little bit of a maintenance stream before this winter storm comes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna lose water or not.
Scotty
I
said
just
that. He
love the look of
says,
my aquariums after a water change, man. They're clean and clear and they're beautiful.
"Oh, it's great. I think that's like a good satisfaction reward for after water changes. How good your tanks look afterwards."
Yeah. So, how long you
Scotty
off
was,
till?
I'm off until Tuesday, so
Very cool. You think you'll
we're
be going to
gonna
work?
um probably. I think we don't really call off like no matter what the weather conditions are, even if we're on our scheduled days. If we're scheduled to come in, we got to go in. They don't. We're a 24/7 job, so
Yep, that's what I've always been used to when I was up in PA most of my life. Uh, like we were talking about before the stream started, I mean, it has to be really, really bad up north before they close crap.
yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Huh?
Paper towels that are white, obviously they're bleached to make them white. Are they okay to put in a fish tank, like for a minute to clean something out?
I've never
Oh,
used them, and I wouldn't trust it personally.
I don't either. But I just had to, like, I had some rotted food on a piece of driftwood that was stuck to it. So I just took a paper towel and kind of scooped it up out of there.
It off. Yeah,
Jim says if you
I
set
wouldn't.
some to the right input, you wouldn't have to worry about adding to the chlorinator because of diffusion over time. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I know about the carbon blocks for sure. We've talked about that many times in the past. Keep rubbing it in, Scotty. Keep rubbing it in.
Scotty said that he's at his job, or let me look at this here. So there's 2 in-wall 300-gallon tanks or work off of my business. We just got a big sump pump and drop in a tank and drain straight into a toilet. He said he won't allow to drain outside for a business.
Oh, they drain in the toilet?
I guess.
Really?
Maybe because I want to keep the grass nice, I guess, or I don't know. You would think that would help the grass with the detritus and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you this little story, man. So my water drains out back, but before I ran it to go around the side of the house so I wasn't making ponds out back of the house here, I had a lot of pine trees here at the time, and pine trees are really hard on grass because of the acidity that they put in the soil. It just kills the grass. So down south, you come here, you'll see a lot of houses that have sand yards. They basically got beaches for yards. I have that problem here. And so there's bare spots. And there was several out back of the door, but after all that time of draining fish water back there, that grass has come back.
Yep.
Plus, we also cut all them damn pine trees down.
Yeah,
I can't stand a pine tree, dude.
I can't either. When I grew up, even as a kid, they're just a mess.
They're a mess all year round.
Yeah. And especially like when all those little leaves start falling down and stuff, it's just a pain in the butt to clean up.
Yes.
They're just all around a pain. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Climbing them's fun when I was a kid, but that was about it.
Yeah. Pine cones, pine needles, sap.
Yeah.
We called them pine needles. They call it pine straw down here.
Yeah, and all that would get brown and just tough to clean up.
186 says he uses paper towels to absorb excess biofilm in tanks. Okay, kind of like a cheesecloth.
Yeah.
I use heavy duty shop towels for that kind of thing, Jesse. Yeah, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I haven't had the dang paper towels in there by accident, but I've never just taken a paper towel and put it in my tanks because they say they use bleach to whiten them. But I always thought, if bleach is dry, it breaks down to nothing. And a paper towel is dry, so how is that going to harm anything? Boy, these Mabunas don't ever stop popping out the babies, do they?
That's really surprising for me because my Mbuna tank, it's one hole. It's usually a yellow lab, and that's it. And those babies never make it.
I think that I got a balance. They're keeping it in check, but every time I look in here, there's new ones.
Now, does any of them make it all the way and grow out in your tank then, or no?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do they really?
Well, I started with 13 Mabunas, and you've seen in my videos how many there are now.
Oh, yeah. Like almost more than double.
Yep. There's that one Mabuna I had, and it died when I first got them. It's that, what do they call that? Oh, what's the name of it? I wanted to get another one to throw in the mix. What is the name of that? It's got the horizontal black bar that goes all the way down each side of its body, and it's usually like yellow.
Oh, the ones that change color if they're a male or female.
I can't remember the name of that. I had one that died, and I never got another one. I'd like to throw him in the mix, and I'd like to get some like red ones so I can start getting like red colored Mabunas. I can never say that right. Hey, Tommy, good to see you, buddy. This tank's
You can
just
say the name. You can say the name however you want. It's your fish. You can call them whatever you want.
Your tank's looking amazing behind you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look.
Yeah, they're growing out. Jahanis. That's electric blue Jahani maybe. The blue and no,
not that one. Keep going. I think it starts with an A.
Aratus.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, because those ones are the ones that turn like black whenever they're a male, and the females stay that yellowish like Pittsburgh Steeler color.
That's what I'd like to get a hold of again. But I got to get some red ones in here.
They can be a little aggressive. I debated for a long time keeping an Aratus only tank because I hear that that's probably the best thing you can do for them because they get aggressive towards other fish pretty bad.
But, right, species only. That's what I do with my tiger barbs.
And it'd be really neat too because you'd have a mixture between male and female, and you'd have some that would stay that yellow and black color as opposed to the other ones. They would have that real dark black look to them.
Yeah. That's the only thing I don't have. I got tons of yellows, tons of blues, and some different colored ones, but I don't have any reds.
Yeah, that's kind of what my Mbuna tank is. I think I would like to get maybe one or two more ACI yellowtail, and the one fish I did lose this week, which is unfortunate because I got from Imperial Tropicals and I've never seen it anywhere else, is the Swedish hongi that I had in there, and it was like that. It's an orange and blue color, and it's really neat.
Okay, I don't think I've ever heard of that one, but I'd love to get me some more of them Ace. I call them Ace.
Yeah.
I only got one, and I've had them forever, but I'd be honest with you, those yellowtail ACIs are probably my favorite.
Yeah, I another tank I've always debated when I was breeding fish at the time is I wanted to get like a combination of half yellow labs and half ACI yellowtail. But never did.
And then God dang it. I'll tell you what, sometimes I think about like if something happened to the big fish in the 375, I thought about making one big, huge community tank. I'd love to put all these Mbuna in there.
Yeah.
Get more of them, and then maybe move my tiger barbs and clown loaches to that 125. I'm wanting to shut that 29 down.
What do you have in it now?
Well, just that polar blue tiger parrot I had to put in there because that convict, its mate, bullied it and almost killed it, but I was able to save it. Okay. She's still in there, which is the mom to all of them little babies up there. And there's looks to be one neon tetra left.
Surviving of the fittest.
You seem tired today, buddy.
Yeah, I'll be all right. I've been a little under the weather slightly. Yeah, I didn't sleep as much as I wanted to. But it's all right. It'll be good. I'll catch up on that later. Plenty of sleep when you're dead, right?
Yeah. No time for sleep. I say that, but I'm the guy that when I hit the pillow, I'm sleeping in 5 minutes. I've never had a problem sleeping, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, my schedule, lucky for you, you have the same schedule for yourself of waking up early and going to bed on time. Whereas with my swing shift schedule, sleep can be a struggle for me.
Yeah, yours changes all the time. I worked that for a little bit of time. I was doing 12-hour midnight shifts. It was on, off, whatever. Freaking hate it.
Yeah.
I like this. I get up every day, every morning, go to work, come home. That's it.
My last job before this one, it was an early get up, and then it was the same schedule. So I was sleeping probably 7 to 8 hours a night all the time, but not anymore.
Yeah. You changed your name, Alishanas. He changed his name. Sleep is a must. How your body heals. Yep, you regenerate cells. Scotty said this about you.
Yeah, I do got a little bit of brown algae. Scotty, do you call that good algae, or do you think that's something I should take care of? I haven't touched it. I think it's more of a natural look, but I think it's essentially gaining its maturity stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't mind brown algae. It's very easy to clean off. Plecos love it.
Yeah.
It's the green shit that I'm tired of.
Yeah.
Comes off and sheets. Honestly, at this point, I think the reason why I have so much algae buildup is because of my just doing water changes every 3 weeks to a month. If I started doing water changes religiously every 2 months, I think I would have a decrease in that.
Yeah.
Because I've already turned my light time hours down. But algae is good.
My tank lights don't stay on for very long, only probably a few hours a day. But the only one that I leave on manually, just because I have a switch that turns on all the tank lights and then all them back off, is I manually turn the one on my planted tank for that exact reason, to give the plants enough light throughout the day.
Yeah, I'm loving that tank behind you. It's looking sweet. When are you gonna give me one of? When are you gonna get me one of them 3D backgrounds, man? Remember, you owe me one.
I haven't forgotten about it. They actually, I think they just recently started shipping to the U.S. again, because for a while there they quit shipping to the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because of tariffs?
Yeah.
Look at the size of this bag. Because like I was explaining,
that's big.
It's huge. Looking at my head.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I got that big one, but I need it anyways. But I had to buy some North Bend Foods, man, that and the community flakes. I got to get the big cichlid flakes too, because Darius North Bend, he just can't send them as often as he was because of them tariffs.
Yeah.
So
a lot of stuff that ships overseas, they've gone up in price so much.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh gosh, yeah, I love them. They aren't foolproof filter, but sure. I don't know who he's talking. Oh, he's talking about carbon block filters. Yeah, because Tommy did that. He put an inline filter right in his garden hose.
Oh, okay. As far as the brown algae goes, it seems like a lot of people like the natural look.
I do.
If I wanted to, I could put a couple of plecos in there to help control the brown algae. And that was one thing I actually debated about putting maybe like a couple of them or at least one in there. But since this is a 220, I would imagine I could probably get a couple and they'd be okay without attacking each other.
Yeah. I'll tell you another fish I like is one of them lemon jakes.
Yeah.
You've had them.
Yep.
Are you gonna be putting some more fish in that tank behind you, or are you just waiting to see what happens?
Yeah, there's more males that are from my other tanks over there on my 60-gallon breeders. I got to move over because a couple of them are claiming the whole one side of the tank. So I need to move them probably either today or sometime this weekend. But yeah, that's the plan. I do actually have a couple lemon jakes that are in my par 60-gallon that I'm going to be putting in here, which I can't wait to see them color up, because they're blue heads and they're yellow bodies. It's just a really neat combo mixture. It's not really like a yellow lab, but more of like a bright yellow, with a vibrant blue. I think that's what makes them stand out so much.
Right. If I was going to buy, I'm really not in the market to buy any fish right now, but there's two fish that I would purchase, and I'm actually waiting until Jesse 2 gets a hold of Geophagus sphennies for me. But I wouldn't mind to get about 6 more of them Mbuna ACI yellowtails.
Yeah, I've debated about that myself. I really like the look of those fish. Those are probably one of my favorite Mbunas. If the electric blue Jahanis weren't so aggressive, I'd probably get more of them too. But
I got several of them in there. I had 1 or 2 and they've reproduced. And honestly, I don't have a problem. I've never had a problem with aggression in that aquarium. But They'll
What's
chase each
crazy?
other, but that's
I'm
about it.
looking at the Mbuna tank now, and you do have one or two chasing each other, but for some reason, I don't know. It's just that one electric blue Jahani. I just ever since I've had them, even when I first started Mbuna, they always just seem to be the aggressive ones, along with those Aratus.
Yeah. When I was getting started, first getting these African cichlids, they were my first African cichlid. And I went to the store. I'm like, sweet, got them. Came home and realized after some research that the sons of bitches gave me a fire mouth. What is it? What's their name? The fire mouth cichlid.
The fire mouth, yeah. I got one. Well, I started out with I think 4 or 5 of them, and now I'm down to I think 3. Yeah.
And they're said to be pretty aggressive.
I had the ones that I have are pretty mild, but there's also a lot of activity in my tank over there too. So I think that kind of keeps that aggression at bay.
Yeah.
And the geos are getting bigger, so that's going back to what your original thing was about talking about goals and stuff for this year. That's probably one of my top goals for this year. I discussed a little bit about it last night too, but it's whenever I am done with these 4 tanks, 260s, 275s, is I want to get a big tank for the Geophagus in my Central and South American tanks so they have more room to grow and more room to swim around in.
What size tank you talking?
I don't know. I want it to be around this size here, this 220. So
how do you like the 220?
I love it.
Yeah.
I have no complaints, no regrets or anything. The amount of time it took to set up and bring it over here, it was totally worth it.
Yeah, I like my big tanks, man. I really do. Like, honestly, if there was anything I was going to do, getting another tank like that's out of the question just because the price is ridiculous. But I would like to replace every tank I have in here with 125s.
I like the 125s.
Probably my favorite tank. I love the footprint. You got lots of options.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of gallons of water. When you add, you lose gallons of water when you add your substrate, your decor, the crap in there, right? We all know that. Yep. But when you have a canister filter underneath, which holds an FX6 of another 5 gallons, you kind of gain that back.
Yeah. It's really nice to be able to have that option. Even with sumps, you kind of gain that water volume back too as well. So,
yep. I just started this
here. Real briefly, I was going to mention to him that about my live stream last night about if fish keeping can be scary. That was one thing that I was always really not necessarily scared of, but more just I guess a little bit afraid to start up as a sump. And I think that if I have time sometime this year and I get that big tank set up for my Central South American, that'll be a project for me to do this year. Is I want to try a sump for the first time because I thought about doing it for the one back here. But I decided not to because I already had an FX6 on hand, so I just bought another one.
Yeah.
But that would be something I want to try out because I was always afraid to try a sumps, but it was something I wanted to do but never did.
I'm kind of like you on there. It's something I would like to try, but at the same time, it's like, why? What I got's working. I like my canister filters. And it seems like, I know a lot of people that have experience with them will disagree with me because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I see lots of videos about, my sump overflowed and leaked all over the aquarium or the floor. It's like, I don't know if I want to have to worry about a damn sump all the time. I probably don't.
He loves his. And that was always my concern is how do you set a sump up without having the worry of it overflowing?
Right. Like if the power goes out.
Yeah.
What's to stop that water? And I know they got valving or something in line, maybe check valves or something to prevent that. When the power goes out and everything's just gravity filling that sump up.
Yeah. Scotty probably knows all about it. He's been doing his sump for a while, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people use it. Obviously, it's not really a problem. But, I've watched a lot of Ben Ochart's videos having trouble with his and leaks.
Yeah.
No, I know a canister filter can leak, but I honestly don't understand why so many people have leaks in their canister filters. But so over the years, I've equated it to one thing. Laziness.
Kind of,
They're not lubing the fucking seals.
yeah, that's kind of where my thought went too. So like, if you just do your maintenance and do what you're supposed to, and keep those seals lubed, with the, food grade, sort of you don't have to put a whole lot on either, but just keep those seals in good
Little dabble,
condition.
do you?
Yeah.
I use the super lube. Super lube. Man, there was a lot of gunk built up in this 55-gallon. A lot of mom. Yeah, this is one tank I was doing.
You set it up and test it to you test it first to the line, to the best level, and once you tune your sump, it will never flood your house. So
Scotty needs to stop being shy and come up.
he always says he always wanted to. I think that now would be a good time for you, Scotty. What do you say?
He came up on one of my lives a while back.
Okay.
He probably don't have his makeup on yet, though. I haven't. I don't have my face on. The link. I might have to put the dang link in there again. I've done it twice. So if anybody else wants to come up and chat with us.
Brenton says Brenton has good luck with Eheims for all his seals, and he's been running for 10 years. So that's good.
Yeah, for sure. There's I got to get a hold of one of those, like we were talking about, mega filters.
They're expensive. They're not like the biggest one, which is, I guess the biggest one is comparable to like an FX4, so they're not as big as an FX6, but they're $500, and you have to buy them from the CJ website, I believe.
Is that the only place you can get them, or can you get them on Amazon?
No, they're not on Amazon yet. They're only like on the CJ website, and there might be another one, but you can't buy them like anywhere, like either in store or on Amazon yet.
Okay, but you can get them from KG Tropical, I think.
They're starting I haven't been following them for a long time, but I've just recently started watching their videos again because they're starting up a fish room again. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's been going, what fish they're selling, and what their process is going to be, and how they set everything up. Because that kind of stuff I really like watching whenever someone sets up a fish room.
Yeah, I've been watching them. I've always liked KG Tropicals. Never had a problem with KG Tropicals. And I've been following along with that, and he's been having a lot of problems. If you go back and watch his video, it's been nothing but a fight for him.
Yep.
Nothing but problems. But yeah, selling fish again, man. For me, I just keep fish for the hobby of it. I've never been into wanting to sell fish. I am trying to get rid of some of these convicts. I got a hold of Jody P a couple times. I don't think she's interested in having convicts. I think they're more high-end rare stuff, I think.
Yeah. Their selection on their website, when I was looking through, before I bought the fish that I had, I think that that's kind of the vibe I got, that they're more into like the rare fish that you wouldn't see anywhere else. So you'll be paying top dollar for them, which is, if that's what you're looking for, then that's great.
And they are overpriced, Warren. I agree. I mean, everything is now.
Yeah.
Like $500 for a 5-gallon bucket with a pump on it. Now, I know they're a little bit more than that, but you can get a brand new FX6 from the store for what, $400?
Yeah, I think it's like around, if you want to do it at like your big box stores, it's probably like $450, if I'm not mistaken, something like that, $430.
And I don't ever buy them new. I actually have an aquatic dealer where I live. If I need one, I can get a hold of him. He gets one for a brand new one for a reduced price.
Uh-huh.
I got FX6s I got 2 FX6s for $300 brand new. Nice.
A lot of mine, I had one that came with this tank, and then I bought a used one off of Marketplace for I want to say maybe 300, give or take. I can't remember it, but I know I didn't pay no full price for it.
Right.
And even then, whenever I was building my fish room and I started getting bigger tanks, I still never paid full price for them, because by the time I spent money on buying tanks and whatnot for the fish room, I was, at the time, PetSmart was doing really good discounts. When you buy so much, you got like coupons for 20% off here, and they call them treats points, but I think they call them different now.
Yeah. I don't measure my safe. I just literally just get a dab like that for every tank, except for the 375, because 1/4 teaspoon does 300 gallons. So I can just do 1/4 teaspoon in that one. But all the rest, I just grab a dab. I've had this conversation with Scotty and
yeah, you can overdose it and it'll be fine.
Yep. Fucking Jim. I like Jim's. You know what Jim does?
Just takes
He
his
takes
hand
this
and puts
bottle, drills holes in the top, turns it into a salt shaker.
Oh,
Because that's a good idea.
good idea. But I don't know. I don't know if I would trust it because I feel like I would shake it too much. Kind of like if you were to do that with like your fish food and you just start shaking it and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, that's a lot of food.
Yeah. Yeah, he just gives 2 jiggles of a jackrabbit's ass and he's done.
Scotty says that he could jump on if you want.
What's that?
Scotty seems like he wants to jump on. He just needs the link.
Oh, that'd
I
be
didn't know
great.
if he pinned it or not.
I'll do it again because
He must have got his makeup and dress on.
Yes. That'd be great. There's the link for anybody who wants to come up and chat with us. More the merrier. We're talking goals. We're talking everything. We're talking water. While I do water changes. Yeah, that's cool. I had an idea what my goal was. For some reason, I forgot it.
Oh.
I guess my goal would be just in the name of efficiency is to I'm actually thinking about reducing some of these aquariums. I'd like to shut that 29 down, start condensing fish. I got to do something with these convicts. I'm gonna try and sell some on the marketplace.
Yeah.
Just condense. I love when the Mabunas do that. You know what I mean? They go like this. The Mabunas.
I've had a really good luck with marketplace. I really can't complain.
Me either. Hey, Scotty, good to see you, buddy. Can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now? I got to figure out how to switch the camera around.
Yep,
I hear you now. Go to settings, camera.
There you go. I'm going to show you my sump.
Oh, you got one of those sumps, not like a DIY sump?
No, I have this whole aquarium. It's a 180 gallon custom aquarium, complete with the stand, the sump, the tank. It has a canopy, but I have bad shoulders, and my wife and me got tired of taking the canopy up off of there just to do any kind of maintenance. So my canopy is now up in the attic up above the garage. But yeah, I don't know if you can see, but I've marked the sump. I'll try to get as close as I can.
He's got the big time sump. The seamless.
Yeah, he's got the Cichlid Bros sump.
It seems to be like backwards. Okay. Anyway, but you see right there, I have a max line. So as long as I don't fill it above that line, I can shut the power off here. Because when I do water changes, I kill the sump. I kill the FX6. And as long as I'm not above that max line, I'll never flood this place.
What
and
stops it from going past that max line? What stops it from going past that max point?
Me. I mean, I can fill it right to the max line right now and shut the power off and it will not flood.
Why? Like what's stopping it from going past it?
From like the overflow of like the water from the tank, then what's stopping it from going down, gravity fed into the bottom there and just continuing to overflow?
Let me try to turn the lights on to this tank. And I got to remember where the timer is.
Can you still hear me okay, P-Tag? I moved my mic up here on this hat because it was
bothering. Yeah, you're good, man. You're fine.
This is a little trick I learned from watching I like Wilderness Whisper. You ever watch that guy?
But I've seen people do that with their hats too. So
yeah. Those guys that go out doing scary camping and videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right, I got my lights on to the tank. So now you can see how this thing is set up. So you see right there, those are the overflows. So once the water goes below that, it's not going to flow down into the sump anymore.
That horizontal piece up there in the center is the overflow.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's one there, and then there's another one here.
Now
the
that he says that,
drains
then
past
some
the
tanks have
overflow.
built in.
And then the other thing is Custom Aquarium makes these are where the water returns, and you see those two little notches up at the top? Those are
Yeah.
emitters. So like Ben Ochart on his sump, he has, check valves, backflow valves that stop it from flowing back. Well, I don't need that with this, because once the water breaks below those two things, then it breaks the suction. So I never have to worry about flooding ever. It works really good.
Yeah, that's cool. And those are obviously the sump to have. But like John here, I know a lot of them would just use a spare aquarium and make a DIY one, putting a pump and air filter media, you name it.
Yeah, that's what Ben Ochart did. Is he used a 40-gallon breeder and just built his own.
I think he added another one to his other tank that's like 60 gallons. I think he's got two of them now. But yeah, like I say, I love this sump. Like I say, I just changed the filter socks. I do them actually every Saturday morning, and these are the socks. And as you can see, this is 1 week's worth of garbage in them. So they do a good job cleaning, and all I do is turn them inside out and throw them in the washing machine with bleach, and then I'll have a clean pair for next week.
How come you don't just rinse them out in the utility sink?
Well, because I'd rather just wash them in the washing machine. It's a whole lot easier. I'm lazy.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pros to having a sump. I mean, you're adding more water volume to the tank. You got to put your heaters down there. You can make refugiums out of them.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Scotty, did you see that Ben Ochart? He actually doesn't use the socks anymore, and he uses like this. I don't know where he got it from, but like a cup. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, and I see especially like saltwater folks that are using, it's like a scrolling mat that as it gets dirty, it scrolls to a new clean, and I guess it lasts for a good long time. But the problem is
fancy.
This kind of sump, I couldn't do a cup or a thing like that in there because the module, let me show you. So this is the sock tub, and as you can see, there's not much room for anything in there. You got the two hoses, and then there's two socks in there, and they make a 4-sock tub. Like Caveman Aquatics, he's got a 4-sock tub, which instead of being front to back, his is like left to right, so it's a lot wider, and that would be nice to have a 4-sock tub, but this tank is not big enough to really need 4 socks. 2 socks is perfect.
How long have you had that fish tank?
This one's going on, I think 5 years now I've had it.
Totally worth it, I take it.
It was my retirement gift from my wife.
That was nice of her.
When I retired, she I love fish tanks, and I told her I wanted a big tank, and I actually had a bigger tank than this that I bought off the marketplace. It was a 240-gallon tank, but excuse me, the guy that I bought it from, he was about 2 hours away, so we drove up there and we loaded it all up, and I get it home and I got to reseal it, so I resealed it, but the glass had so many scratches in it. My wife's like, if you're gonna have a big tank, you might as well get a new one. All righty, that's permission.
No complaints there, right?
Yeah, so this one is actually only a 6-foot tank. It's 180. It's 2 foot by 2 foot by 6 foot, and
Okay.
the other one was a 240. And I actually sold it to a guy that lives in the neighborhood next door to me, and he made a saltwater tank out of it, and it looks really good. So he's done really good with it, and
That's good.
so he's happy with it.
Now,
If you
Scotty,
want,
would you ever build your own sump if you had the desire to, or the tank to do it with? Would you ever do something like that, or no?
yeah, like my 125 that's out in my living room, I would love to put a sump on it. Right now, I'm just running an FX6 in a Title Series 110 on there. And it does great. My 125, that's like my favorite tank. It's planted and it has all the the Denison barbs, the rainbows, the Royal Trout Danios, Cory cats.
Yeah.
I got several plecos in there, but I only never see them. They're clown plecos and then some bristlenose. And there's some serpatetras in there as well, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a beautiful tank, and it's in my living room, so that's kind of like my main display tank.
Yeah.
And then this is just a bedroom, and it's really crowded. And right now, it's really messy because we're being prepared for this ice storm, and we're freezing right now. So it's just a matter of the ground staying cold enough for all this rain that we got last night to turn into ice. So
You're
it's
down south, right?
I'm in Central Texas.
Texas?
Right. Yeah, right in the middle of Texas.
All right, so you still could get some cold weather, but not so much snow, I would think. Or is that,
Well,
am I wrong?
I've been here. I got here in 1990. I came from Alaska to here. I was in the military, retired from the military here. And I don't know, about 6 years ago, we had 10 inches of snow here, which shut down the state for freaking.
No one knew what to do.
This
Like
one's supposed
2
to be
weeks.
worse than that.
That's like when Florida gets 2 inches of snow and they're like, what the hell are we supposed to do? We got to bunker down.
Yeah, it was funny too because ain't nobody got snow shovels. So my
Right.
wife and I, we went to my garage and we took one of the shelves off the garage wall. It was a 10-inch or a 12-inch board, and we were just pushing snow out the driveway. It was funny.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. If you want real quick, I can walk you around my fish room and just show you my tanks that I got going on here.
I'd love that.
Go for it. We can even put you full screen if Jesse wants to.
Yeah, we're going to put you on the full screen. You're going to give us a tour. We're going to put you on the big screen.
Yeah, all right. See how many viewers leave as soon as they start seeing me.
You worry too much.
You're going to get more viewers.
I doubt it, but it's okay. Well,
Oh, I love him. I love those geos. That's
yeah,
another fish I want is the Severums too.
yeah. My Severums over here, they are a breeding pair. And you see the big Waru back there. So I had 4 of them. I lost one. People talk about electric blue acaras being a peaceful fish. Well, I had an electric blue acara that killed a 9-inch Waru in this
Oof.
tank.
Yeah.
And I come in here and the Waru's laying on its side and it's all beat up, and the electric blue acaras were all over it, and they were attacking my other Warus. And then, I don't know, about a year ago, 2 of my Warus started having all these white spots on them, so I thought it was ick. Well, I misdiagnosed it because it wasn't ick, it was epistalis. And the treatment for epistalis and ick is just the opposite. And I was treating it for ick, and they didn't make it. So I lost 2 big. They were 10 and 11-inch fish,
Yeah,
So,
that's unfortunate. I was talking to an individual this past week, and he did the same thing where he misdiagnosed it. And when he sent me pictures, I wish he had shown me pictures before, because then I would have told him the opposite, because he treated it for the opposite, and that's unfortunate.
yeah, that was definitely a hard lesson to learn because, golly, it hurt.
Yeah.
I've raised these Warus from like 1-inch fish. I
Yep.
bought them, online from I can't even remember where I bought them, but it's like they're only an inch long, and it's like, holy crap. And now they're, 10, 12 inches. And my big
That
red
one-
Oscar,
Go ahead.
red?
No, you go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, I'm just saying I just lost my big red Oscar. He was 11 inches. I come out of my closet where I have all my little breeding tanks where I'm raising fry. And he went nuts in here. I mean, shooting across the top, smashing the top. The emitter that you see right there in the middle of the screen up the top where the water comes
Yep.
in the tank, he
Yep.
bent that thing over. And then
Wow.
he also knocked my wave maker over off the wall where let's see where that, right there, my wave maker over there on the wall. He broke it off the wall. And when I come in here, I mean, he was going nuts, and he gashed his head wide open, and his lung or his gills were all bleeding. So I had to put him down. He was dead, basically, or he was gonna die.
You talking about your Oscar?
Yeah, he went.
That's nuts.
That's why I say Jim over at Happy Place always disagrees with me. And I know people say you can put one Oscar in a 75-gallon tank, but I'm telling you, my Oscars freak out like that too. They haven't to that degree, but I've seen them smash into shit head on, rocks, glass.
Yeah,
A 125 is not big enough for a single Oscar when they freak out.
that's a fact.
You know, so it's like I never agreed with putting one in a 75.
Especially full grown. I mean, those things need room to swim, man.
And they're powerful when they freak out. Mine freak out like that. I know they freaked out when I was sleeping. I'd come out here in the morning and check. There's water all over the floor, or the power head's been knocked off. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know if we can see. I'll try to get close up here. But this Geo that's kind of behind that wood right there, if he ever turns the other way around,
is that the one you were trying to heal?
Yeah, I mean he's got a big tumor on the side of his face. It's one right behind the wood there.
Has it progressed in the good direction, I should say, or is it stay the same?
It actually looks like it's gotten a little bit bigger since I put him back in here. If my Waru would get out of the way, but yeah, it's an ugly look on him, but it's like, oh my goodness. And my Geos are actually a breeding pair. These two right there are breeders. They've laid eggs several times, but I've never been able to.
Those are the redheads, like full grown, right? The
redhead
Copahos.
Yeah, that's the male right there, shaking his head, and then that's the female right behind him. Oh, dang it, she just. I want to see if you can get to see the tumor on the side of her face.
I've seen your healing videos. I was kind of curious as to how he was doing. If it's affecting his eating habits or his living habits per se.
He's active and feisty like always. But when I had him in the 10-gallon tank because I wasn't sure what was going on, here he is. See how big it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, enough of that. Say again.
Do you think he's going to end up dying?
I'm sure at some point he probably will, but right now, I mean, he does fine. He just looks ugly,
Right.
I mean, he got this big old lump on the side of his face, and I'm going to call him Elephant Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's swing around. We'll look at some other tanks here real quick.
Cool.
So this one down here is my 20 long.
Links in the chat, guys. Anyone can come up.
Say what?
Go ahead. I was talking to the chat.
Yeah. So this is my 20 long. And this is fairly new. I think I've only had it for about 8 or 9 months now. And what I did with this, I put planted substrate and then capped it with black sand. And all it has in here is these are all my CPDs that I've growed out from babies. And there's like 30 of them in here. And I have one pleco and a bunch of shrimp. And I've got more baby CPDs. I just keep breeding them. And as they get big enough, I throw them in here. I want about 100 of them in here at some point. I love these little guys.
Yeah.
And then up here is my crazy guppy tank, overstocked like you name it. And this tank is a dirted tank. And it's actually my second dirted tank. My first one, we called it the Oreo Cookie. Stubbs Aquatic named it that way because if you look at my substrate, You got dirt on the bottom, white sand cap, and then a black sand cap on top of it. So, it's because I ran out of sand. So
Look like you're making an angel food tank.
yeah. But this tank is doing really good. This Anubias tank, Anubias plant was one single piece of Anubias, but it's grown into 3 different stems. So I'm gonna break them apart and have 3 different Anubias. I love Anubias plants. I just do. They're just awesome. Slow growers, but they're really beautiful. And then lots of jungle bell, and I keep clearing it out, giving it away. And then there's a crypt in there. You can see it. And I got swordtails in here, green swordtails, and then there's a couple hillstream loaches, one on the glass right there. And just tons of guppies, But this tank at some point is going to start leaking. I don't know if you've seen the video I put out. I've got
I saw it's chipping off. Your silicone's coming off.
Yeah, it's peeling. I got 3 places, 3 corners that are doing that. So at some point, I'm either going to wait for it to leak, or at some point I might get energetic and just pull it down. I'll go to Home Depot or something and buy a big tub and put all the fish and plants in it, and then just reseal the tank. So
yeah.
What do you use? G silicone?
Say again. I didn't hear you.
What do you use? The GE silicone?
No, I've got this. It's a black. I like black silicone, and I use their black. I get it on Amazon. I forget the name of it, but it's aquarium.
Yeah, it's aquarium safe. It's probably the same bottle that I use. I have clear and black both.
Yeah, it begins with A, but I don't remember the name of it. It's out in my garage. So
black silicone is sweet. Is it ASI?
I don't remember. Just be honest with you.
I used the ASI, but it's clear. American Silient. I got it off Amazon. It's good. It's like really strong tensile strength stuff. Like it's good up to 750 gallon total. Like crazy amounts of tensile strength.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's in the works at some point, whether I wait for it to leak or or get energetic one day. But yeah. Let me jump over into this tank. So this is on my desk. So this is just a little 10-gallon tank, and this has my fork-tailed rainbow, blue-eyed rainbows. And there's like 6 or 7 of them in here. I'm trying to get them to breed, and not having much luck with it. I've seen eggs when they were in my 20 long, because originally I had these guys in the 20 long, but I moved them over here with a gravel top with the sand, so their eggs, they wouldn't eat their eggs, and I've got a mop in there, but so far no luck. So it is what it is with that.
Yeah, Jesse, it's called ASI. That's the stuff that I got, the silicone.
Yeah.
White bottle.
Yep. And then over here is my quarantine tank right now. My neighbor and me, we went down to Austin. We went to 3 fish stores, and I bought 6 stir-by Cory cats. So they're in here in quarantine. They're all sitting in the back corner. I don't know if you can see them back there by the sponge filter. They're kind of hiding. If I move the sponge filter, they'll jump all around. Get them out of there. Come on. There you go. But there's 6 of them in here. They're in quarantine right now, and I'm going to put these guys in my 20 long, I think, and let them go, and hopefully they'll breed, and I'll have more Corys. That'd be cool.
Your sponge filters, is it that running that low for a reason?
Yeah.
Or is it just?
Yeah, I don't have it pumped up real high.
Okay.
I mean, there's really nothing going on in this tank. It's just a quarantine tank. Now my other one, like over here, you see that one. This is the rainbow tank, and it's pumping really good because I got fish in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then over here is my 40 breeder. So this has my dwarf neon rainbows. There's a couple black neon tetras in here, and then my empire gudgeons. I'm wishing that I could capture some more eggs from the gudgeons when they breed, and I found out through What's her name? They just started the fish store. I forget her name again.
Jody P.
Jody P. Yeah, she told me because I was having problems, I hatched thousands of eggs, but they all died in one day. But I come find out, Jody P says, well, you need to have them in brackish water. So I actually have some brackish water in a bottle, a gallon bottle, and it's sealed. And so whenever they do breed, I'm going to put them in brackish water, and hopefully I can raise some gudgeons up. That's the goal.
Those Empire gudgeons are freaking sweet, man. I once they grow to their full maturity and get those colorful top and bottom fins, they're freaking awesome.
The female, not so much. She's just brown, but I got two males and one female in here. And the two males, when they're in their breeding colors, you will never find.
You probably want a female in there so they bring out the color in them, right?
Yeah. But when they're in their breeding dress and trying to breed, you will not find a prettier fish. I'm telling you, they are just stunners, And I've got videos on my channel of them breeding, and you'll see them. So if you wanted to look at them.
That's cool. And what are those to the left there? Those blue ones? Are those the?
Those are the dwarf neon rainbows. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought them from Dan's Fish, and I've had them for a good while. And I had one that got sick, and I pulled it out and treated it, and it had some sort of like fuzzy stuff growing on in a patch on it. So I treated it, and in a quarantine tank, and he's done fine ever since. So we good there.
Nice.
And then this is my 75-gallon. It needs a lot of work. I need to do some plant work on this thing because it's just overgrown like crazy.
You just have a jungle in there. That's all that is.
Yeah.
You know what? It looks really
It's cool
good.
though. I actually really like it though because
it's clean.
You don't see that. Yeah. It's
no
very
algae.
pristine.
It still looks really good.
Yeah, but it needs thinning. I need to pull a lot of this jungle bell out, and I got this huge crypt right there, and I keep, taking shoots of this and plant it in other tanks, and they seem to be doing good. A lot of folks talk about, you replant a crypt and you get it to die off and it'll come back. I haven't had any die off. I just throw them in another tank and they seem to do fine. So
the ones you sent me was the same thing, man. They literally floated here for about 3 weeks till I put them down on the substrate, and they're still fine.
Yeah, you see what's up on the top there? That's all that same crypt that I sent you. But I pulled a whole buttload of it out and gave it to you out of the 40 breeder because the 40 breeder looked like this tank.
Yeah,
big old jungle.
Yeah, and I don't know where he went to. I wanted to show you my area. It's right there. Look at this big old fat pig for a doggone yo-yo loach.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That dude is a porker.
Wow. Good Lord, he eating good. Scotty over there getting that guy steak.
Well, he's probably eating the same crap I am.
Steak.
Yeah. We're eating prime rib.
Yeah.
Oh boy, eating good right there. He could miss a meal or two.
Yeah, he probably could. I got 2 of them in here and 2 of them in my 125 that's out in the living room. So let me run down here. I got to get on the ground for this one. This one is my 20-gallon, and it has flagfish in it and shrimp. I don't know how well we're going to do here, but there's only a couple flagfish left in here. But yeah, now, this thing is.
Are those the American flags or are those the China flags?
They're American. They're the regular old Florida flagfish. And I don't know. There's a bunch of shrimp in here, and plants are doing good. I don't know what kind of plant this thing is. I've had this. This is the original dirted tank too. This is the original one that Stubbs called the Oreo cookie tank. As you can see, the substrate with the dirt, white sand, black sand. Yeah, angel food cake.
Yep.
But this plant here, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of sword, but it's done real well just right there in the corner. It's been in here since I set this tank up, and it just grows and grows. I don't know what it is. Now I got to get up. I hope I fallen and ain't got up.
Yeah.
Let's walk into my little breeding room. So This is my 20-gallon, and this is housing my gazillion baby plecos.
Holy smoke.
These guys are freaking breeding like you name it. And they're bristlenose, and I've actually found a store down in Austin that said they'll take them from me and they'll give me cash for them or credit. And I said, I just take credit because I always need fish stuff.
Yeah.
So
Usually get more for credit anyways, right? So
it doesn't really matter. I mean, I wasn't expecting this many babies, but it's like, holy crap. But there's a ton of them in there.
Yeah,
So
that is a load.
yeah, I have to keep siphoning the substrate because it's a giant poop factory. As you can,
that's what plecos do.
yeah, that's their job. Eat, poop, and be merry.
Boy, what a life.
Yeah. So over here is my CPD adults that I'm breeding. I keep fishing out fry out of here as they have fry and I find them. I got my little shrimp net there. I scoop them out. And all the fry I'm putting in this little fry tank here. And I don't know if you can see them, but there's a bunch of them swimming around that sponge filter area. You know, they're really tiny. They're like eyelashes right now, so it's really hard to see. I don't know if you can see any of them. But there's a good load of them in there. And once they get big enough, they'll go into the 20 long. And then over here are my golden killie fry. I've raised these guys up from little baby fry. And there's about 4 or 5 of them in here. And I had one in here that was so mean. He kept attacking all of them. So I threw him in my 75 and I didn't think he'd survive, but he's still in there and he's a lot bigger than these. And they were all born at the same time. So pretty crazy.
You got it going on.
Yeah, a little bit, a little tired, but
This is all like behind the scenes, Scotty. This is stuff I've never seen before.
yeah. And this is my messy fish room. As you can see, I got my EcoFlow battery backups out here ready for power outages that we're probably going to see from ice storms. But if you want, I can walk out to my 125 so you can see it.
We want to see it all, big boy. We want to see all the goods.
I don't know how I pause. Can I pause the video while I walk?
You just
cover the camera screen, if anything.
Okay, let me do that.
Make it easier.
What are you hiding, Scotty? What are you hiding? I want to see it.
My naked wife.
He's got that stash of cast. He's secretly Breaking Bad. He's the next.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys he sponsors me. Like periodically, he'll just throw me a couple grand, be like, "Here you go, bro."
Yeah, he's got to go into his big 55-gallon brute trash can full of cash.
Yeah.
It's in the yard out back.
All right, I got to turn the lights on so you can see this thing. Bear with me here. I got to find the timer. I know I'm a crappy videoer, ain't I?
Pretty sure we used to have that same rug. Hey, Robert. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Been a while since I seen you. He's been a channel member for a long time.
Nice.
So there is my 125 with the lights on. So this houses my Denison barbs. It's got the Royal Trout Daniels that are up there at the top. I love them, but they are jumpers. Yeah. And then the rainbow fish. And then there's a Serpatetra hiding down in there. There's a couple of Siamese alligators in here. There's some yo-yo loaches in here.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How do you like having fish tanks all over the place and not in one room?
Oh, that's fine.
I always hated that myself.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me. This is in my living room, so this is like my display tank, and I
Yeah.
really like it. I mean, this is mainly all Anubias, different varieties of it, and it's grown in very good. And
It looks
I've cut Anubias and replanted it, and it just keeps growing. And
Nah, that looks
yeah,
good, man. You set up tanks nicely.
He's like a professional aquascaper with plants and decorations.
Yeah, you
yeah,
can. We can tell you take your time and
Yeah.
you put thought into it. It shows, man. It looks really good.
yeah.
I
Well,
agree.
this tank this is my favorite tank. It come out, and all these Anubias, they just keep growing and growing. I did have a lot of algae problems on the Anubias leaves, and you can still see a bunch of it. But
Brown
I bought,
algae,
yeah,
black algae. I guess you'd say blackbeard algae, maybe.
no, it's a green algae, but like you can see,
Okay.
there's a nerite snail on there. So I put like 10 nerite snails in here, and they've really done a number on the algae on the leaves. They've gone through, and I mean, it ain't perfect, but um, it's really come along a long ways compared to what it used to look like. But yeah,
Was that a
this is
real
this,
piece of driftwood on the right, or is that a fake decor?
oh, that one, that's fake.
I used to have that exact same piece of wood in my
It's
decoration, one of my tanks. It's kind of neat, really.
I like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
My Denison barbs love it. They just swim in and out of it all day long. You know.
I
Now,
might still
Scotty,
have it.
are you one for changing decor up periodically just to give them something fresh and new to discover?
I haven't done that in this tank. The only time I've done anything with this tank is I bought some rosy barbs, right? And I put them in my 29 gallon. And I said, well, they were pretty fish. So I said, let me put them in here. Well, I put them in here, and them dang things started eating my Anubias. I'm like, they got to go. So to get them out, I had to remove everything, drain the water down real low, fish them out, and then I took them to Petco and said, here, take them. I don't want them no more. I don't want plant eaters.
Listen, you're going to take these one way or the other because they're not coming back with me. So we're going to do it the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah, well, the easy way is they take them and then they sell them and make a profit, and I get nothing. That's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. You want some convicts, Scotty?
No,
You want some duckweed?
no, don't. I got enough of that out in my little summer tub.
How about
I'm gonna.
How about some polar blue parrotfish that was bred with a regular convict, which we know regular convicts have red horn doris in them as well. I learned that from Discus North. So you want some of them? I got a bunch of those babies.
No, I'm good right now.
Fine, don't then.
I'm gonna show you something real quick too. So let me go back this way. Right now, we're at. I don't know if you can see it very good. We're at 30 degrees outside,
Yeah.
and my summer tub is out there on the patio, and it's out there covered, and I got a little step ladder holding the cover down. And we're expecting, and I don't know if you can see my roof. My roof is white. It's frozen. It's actually solid
I see
ice.
it. I do see it.
And my shed out there, my solar panel that I got out there, it's frozen solid. So yeah. And actually my temperature thing out there on the wall, it says it's like 25. So I don't know which one's more accurate. But
So
anyway,
what's your fish room goals for 2026, Scotty?
survive.
Yeah,
Let me go back to the fish room.
yeah.
What was that, Scotty? I had to step out for a minute. Sorry.
That was my outside summer tub.
Oh, okay.
I still got fish out there. I've got rice fish out there. I've got what I call them, rainbow shiners and guppies, and I got 4 adult plecos, and also found out that my plecos out there are breeding as well because I keep seeing babies in there. So I'm like, Lord have mercy, what am I going to do with them all?
Well, like you said in the chat, if you want to part ways with a couple of them, that's up to you. But I know you said
Well,
you haven't shipped fish before, but it's
I've never
totally up to
shipped
you.
any fish before, but if you shoot me an email and
Okay.
I can send you some and hopefully they survive because I've never done it before. So.
Especially in the weather conditions, you might have to wait till springtime.
Oh yeah, I would wait. And I'm going to send Jose some too. He said he'd like to have some. So,
Sounds
they grow pretty fast. So they'll, here in a month or two, they'll be a lot bigger and probably ship better than they would when they're little. So,
yeah.
Hey, Scotty, can you do me a favor?
yes, sir.
Can you tell Jose that you'll ship him his fish when he ships me them discus?
I don't think you're going to get any discus.
I don't think so
He's-
either.
You've had quite the experience with discus for sure, between going to make them look as beautiful as they are and even losing them.
Well,
I
I
can't
tried.
imagine losing a bunch of discus. That would just be heartbreaking.
Yeah, I tried discus. There's a guy that's a breeder, and he's not far from where I live. He lives in the next town over, and he has his house set up, for breeding, and he sells them, right? First time we walked in there, you walk into it's his living room and a kitchen, and it's wide open, and he's got this island, and he's got, it's probably a 300-gallon tank, maybe bigger, sitting on this island. And he's got discus in there that I swear to God, they're as big as a dinner plate. They're freaking huge, and they are beautiful. And then he's got a whole room of just breeders where he's breeding them. And then he had like a 200-gallon where he had these ones that were about 3 inches around, and he was selling them for like $35 a piece. So we bought 4 of them. And
That's a good price.
yeah. So we bought 4 of them, and they did fine for about 8-9 months, and then they just started dying off on me. And I doing water changes and all that, but they were in my 125, and they just didn't make it. So at that cost, I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm not going to keep spending that kind of money.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing that always kept me away from discus is just the cost of the fish.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that. I did a video of a fish tour called Tiny Aquatics, and golly, he had some discus in this one tank, and I even put a label on there. These are for Jose, and they were big discus. They were probably 4 to 5 inch discus, maybe, and they were $80 a piece, and they were gorgeous.
That baffles my mind because my local fish store had some. One of them was a big blue one, like you said. I said the same thing, about the size of a dinner plate, and they wanted $180. Or no, that fish was $250.
Yeah, you can spend like $300 on just a couple of fish that are half that size.
It ain't hard. Well, anyway, let me drop off the video off this thing, and I'll just stay on the chat and let you guys continue on. That's my tour.
Thanks, Scotty. I appreciate it.
All righty.
Be safe out there.
Yep.
I'm going to try.
Stay warm.
Talk to you
All
later.
right.
I'm gonna check something out real quick, but you can stay live. I just gotta step away for a minute because I looked at my sump pump while Scotty was live there for a minute. I have a pump that pumps out 2,770 GPH for that sump pump.
2770. That's decent.
Yeah. So I would
So-
imagine it would more than likely keep up with sending water that way.
Yeah, because you said yours is 900.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good ratio for it to keep up.
Yep.
For sure. Just try it.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing left to it but to do it.
The only thing I might do is I might check on the bottom to see if it has some sort of filter on the bottom, because some of those, some of the pumps, they can have like a sponge filter in a sense to try to catch any like debris or something that goes in and down there. But even that, it won't be that difficult just to pull it out and clean it.
Right. my sister had bought me the Max, the Flipper Float Max.
Yeah.
It has a really strong magnet on it. It's actually too strong for a 125.
Is that what you're using on there right now on your big tank?
Works great on the
Okay.
acrylic 375. You just flip it to the felt side, obviously, so you don't
Yeah,
scratch.
I keep saying I'm going to get one of those, and I still haven't. I actually, to be honest, I need to get new magnets, scrapers for probably a few of my tanks because that felt's starting to come off on pretty much all of them now, and I've had them since the beginning of time.
Yeah,
I don't want them to scratch my glass, and I kind of go real easy with them too. But they've seen better days.
for sure. I understand that. I am starting on the 375 now, but I have to use my God. What is wrong here? So I had him when he built me this tank. If you remember, I had him build me these built-in lid locks.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really hard to get the freaking lid out of them.
Oh, for your big tank, yeah. I remember you said that was kind of tough.
I'm about ready to remove them. Good God.
So that's interesting then. So it's tempting to. I'm probably going to test this out next time. Now that I know the GPH for that sump pump, it's just emptying my water straight into that sump area.
Oh God, I splashed the fuck out of myself. Yeah, that way you can. I'm assuming eliminate a step.
Yep. And if I'm feeling really intrigued, I could try to do that and set up something in the future to drain all my tanks at once. Only bad thing is, I wish my water pressure was high enough to where I could fill it up just as fast as removing it.
Right.
I don't think that's the case. So it'll take a little bit of time to fill the rest of the tanks up. But that's what actually takes the most time out of anything is filling the tanks back up.
Yep, that's always the bottleneck.
Yeah.
Always the bottleneck. But they tell you you should fill slow anyways.
Yeah, because you don't really want to disturb the substrate too much. Because that's what holds a lot of your beneficial bacteria, and it just also a lot of water movement all at once. You don't want to like disturb the fish and that sort of thing, and have something stupid happen.
I always equated the reasoning behind that to be maybe temperature difference.
Yeah,
I got to drain this thing before I start getting some of this. Love my common plecos, but you talk about massive mess all the time.
Like Scotty said, that's what they do is they eat and poop and be merry.
Yeah, and he's a big boy, so I got lots of big poops everywhere. So I just got to drain this real quick. Which means I got to open this door. So here comes a waif of cold ass air coming in.
Yep.
I like it. I'm kind of hot right now.
Well, we all knew that, Jesse. Can't deny that. Yeah, I've always debated about putting a couple of plecos in this 220 just to clear some of the algae up, but then I'm kind of like 50-50 on the natural look or the clean look. Either or I'm happy with, but I was kind of curious to see how it would all end up if I were to put a couple of plecos in there because I've never put plecos with African cichlids before.
Yeah, but you know what? They're going to stop cleaning that. They get lazy.
Then they just hang around.
They just hang around and poop and eat. And you'll see them every once in a while on there, but they do not. The older they get, the bigger they get, the less work they put in.
The more lazy they get, they just want to hang around.
Cecil named his Herman Monster. I named mine the Kraken. Because you seen the Clash of the Titans movie?
Long time ago, yeah.
The Kraken. You remember the big Kraken?
Uh-huh.
His eyeball looks just like my common pleco's eyeball, so I call him the Kraken.
That's perfect name then.
Yeah, and he's big. I measured him. He's over 18 inches now.
Oh, shnikes.
Yeah, he's got even bigger since he got put in this big old tank. And I got another one in there with that Dempsey, but he was a rescue.
So what did you say that your kind of main goal was or that you were debating for this year?
Oh,
because we reminisced about it a little bit, but I don't think we kind of went in depth about it at all.
Yeah, I think what I want to do is condense. they're actually downsized a little bit. There's some tanks I want to shut down, like this 29 gallon. It's a great tank, it's a beautiful planted tank, but it's kind of over there out of the way. I'm not going to get rid of it per se, but I think I'd like to drain that, distribute the plants, the two fish that are in there, and just use that as like a larger quarantine tank for a larger fish, because I do have PVC plumbed to it already. There's a spigot at it. It's kind of dumb to kind of just totally get rid of it. It's there. I could use it for a nice quarantine tank for like a bigger fish.
Yeah, it's handy to have, and I feel like that's part of the reason why whenever I do get rid of the one of my 2 goals I want to do this year is get rid of the 4 tanks over here. I'll probably just keep them just for emergency purposes.
Right.
Just to have just a quarantine, and I'll keep a few fish in there, and if need be, I can just transfer fish over.
So, yeah, I kind of don't have a goal per se, other than I think I'd like to do a little bit of condensing of some fish, maybe shut down 1 or 2 tanks. Like I really don't need that 29, but then again, I battle myself because
you're afraid that like the day you get rid of it, a week later, you're going to need it.
Exactly. Just like this situation I have with the fish that's in there now, that parrotfish. Yeah. I had to get him out of this tank and heal him in a place of peace. That tank served well for that. It's always nice to have some spare tanks that aren't just laying around, that are already cycled, ready to go.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Essentially, my main goal is to eventually get a new home for the Central and South American fish so they can have more room to swim around in. I would love to see that happen this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe it's just a process because I got to bring all the African cichlids and take them to the local fish store, put them in bins or buckets or whatever, and take them out, and then move the fish tanks around, and then find the new fish tank that I want, which I would love to have something bigger than a 125 if possible, but that's going to require some lifting techniques from multiple people, like I did with this one. So
right,
it's a project, and I don't know if I'm going to be up for something that big, but I do want something that big, and I'm not 100% about making my own fish tank out of plywood.
That's something I was always wanting to try. I wouldn't be scared to try it, but the problem
it'd be ideal for me because I could just do it inside this room. So whatever, I can make the tank as big as I want.
Right. And that's the nice thing about it. You can customize it to a space.
Yeah.
But the fumes you get off that fiberglass and pond shield is pretty good. So you need good ventilation.
Yeah.
I could get rid of these center tanks, build an awesome center DIY plywood tank, and open this garage door and do it. As long as the bird ain't next door. But then it seems like more work than I want to get into too. I got my monster tank. I'm happy. I did build 2 125 gallon stands that I was going to put on concrete blocks because I'd like to get rid of these stands I made here out of wood for these center tanks.
Yeah.
Put those 2 back to back or maybe stack a couple tanks to reduce. But then I would interrupt my cool fake wall thing there, man.
Which I like that. It really stands out on your live streams.
Can you see it good?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I like that setup too. But that's 75 there on the right, which was probably your left. I don't know. It's got the Dempsey in it. It's got that old glass syndrome. Right before the stream started, I was scrubbing with a pot scrubber because it's the only thing that'll do it. Trying to get that algae off, but it's just getting worse as the years go by. And enough time, you're not going to be able to even see in that aquarium.
No, and that's the thing that sucks about that real dark algae is if you just let it sit, it gets worse. It gets bad. It's hard to even scrub off anything.
Right.
Looks like Cheryl's going to do a plywood monster pond built. 210 gallons. I
seen her talking about that. Yeah, and then there was another guy I saw on YouTube channel we don't mingle with much. He's building a 1,000-gallon out of metal. He's got a frame welded up in his garage.
Metal, huh? That's different.
That's what the Ohio Fish Rescue did, but personally never understood it because then I go look at guys like Jeremy over at Aquarium Domain building the big, beautiful tanks, and he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just do that? it's more customizable.
Yeah,
the
I would
bulletproof.
prefer that route myself. I never heard of a metal, customized metal tank.
Yeah, well,
And
yeah,
I know Ohio Fish Rescue, so I didn't realize that that's what it was.
yeah, they had them made. They didn't build it. They had it made for them, 2 of them. This guy's building one, and whatever works. But the problem with metal is you have to, and you in Ohio Fish Rescue had to do it. You have to clean and you have to coat and clean, and there can be no rust.
Yep. Because that'll just break down in time on it. So
Yeah, and you would think after a while it's gonna rust.
yeah, and then you'll have that rust, inside your fish tank, for erosion and whatnot. So yeah, ideally that would be phenomenal for me to have my own plywood tank and customize it to that exact space and make it, put a sump down there, try that out. It'd be a whole new project. But like I've always said many times before, when you have a family, then you start to not have as much time as you used to for stuff like that. So we'll see what happens this year. But that's my 2 main goals for this year, is to eventually get a new home for my Central and South American tank and keep learning with the Planet tank. So,
and that's true. They are very busy, Scotty, so they probably don't have the time to freaking do that.
yeah, they got enough on their plate too.
Yeah, but yeah, I've got all I got left is a 220 gallons up there, my 375. I'm kind of letting the hot water catch back up a little bit, and then I'll to reach the bottom of the aquarium in this, because you can't barely reach it on that 375. I had to build this. I did a video on it.
Gosh, yeah, I remember that now.
And Dee Dee was like, you know what? I never thought about running the tube. She did something like this, but she zip tied it to the outside of the tube. She's like, I never thought about running on the inside like that. And I just put a zip tie so it can't go back in. That allows me to get down there and get everything out of there I need to get out.
All the pleco poop and everything else, to skin the sand and all that.
Yes. Damn it. So that's all I got to do left. I'll probably just top those 2 tanks off. It's so hard to do water changes in that one because there's so many cherry shrimp in it. I'm always afraid to suck them up.
Yeah, that'd be nerve-wracking.
I'll probably just top those 2 off, do a big water change in this, and that'll be it, and I'll be happy. So if something happens, I know these guys are in some fairly fresh water.
Yep.
And then they'll be good to go. So having said that, I'm probably going to jump off. It's been an hour and a half, 40 minutes. I'm getting a little hungry.
You did pretty well on your live stream today.
I did?
Yeah.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming up, and glad Scotty came up to say hello. And
it's been a while, so I thought it'd be nice to reminisce again for old time's sake.
Yeah, it was fun. I appreciate it. I need to do it more often. Maybe I should do that during maintenance streams all the time. It's fun to have someone up chat. Plus, it helps with someone who's up there with you. They can watch the chat and answer questions.
Yeah, that makes it a little easier for you, so you can focus on filling up your tanks and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it definitely makes things a little easier. But you guys all be safe. Winter storm's coming. A lot of people were taking it lightly. From what I see, I wouldn't take it lightly. I'm definitely prepared. That's the other thing I got to get to. I do want to do an oil change in my generator before tomorrow or later today or whenever it's coming through. But yeah, I got some things to do. So I'm going to jump off, grab something to eat, and get back to work.
Sounds savvy. If you want to debrief backstage, and then we'll go our separate ways if you want. It won't be long. And then we'll go from there.
Okay, buddy. I'll
see you, everyone.
Yep. Be safe. Look out. And we'll see you next Saturday.
See ya.
Once a month shower day.